An agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pierre. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of ERG Media Group. Download the ERG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archived video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School Sports on your phone or mobile device with the ERG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio, Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District, backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
We're back at the all-new Watertown Football Stadium. Governors, Arrows, the rematch of the Dakota Dome last year. Brian Oakland along with Sean Lewis will start our Bank West pregame show with a look around Class 11 AA, see what's going to happen tonight as far as the schedules and more. But we remind everybody that is on the road on behalf of our South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, who celebrates being a part of a team that remind us to slow the drive and arrive alive. You've got some place to be. Remember to buckle up every trip, every time from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Quick look at what's happening in the schedule tonight, along with the Governors playing at Watertown. Some good games. One of them we don't expect to be a great game is going to be Yankton hosting the Douglas Patriots. Huron, who beat the Govs last night, goes down to T area to tangle with the Titans. I'm kind of intrigued to see how that one will go. Aberdeen will play at Brookings tonight. Of course, Brookings comes to Hollister Field for homecoming for the Governors next week. Mitchell is out at Spearfish this evening, and then tomorrow Sturgis will play AAA Rapid City Stevens in the Rushmore Bowl at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Actually, that's 6 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, so that's your schedule of games in 11 AA tonight. The rest of the AAA schedule has Lincoln and Roosevelt in the first of two at Howard Wood tonight in Sioux Falls. Washington against Jefferson should be a good one in the nightcap as well. 3 AAA games tomorrow, including Sturgis at Rapid City Stevens. Harrisburg will play at Rapid City Central in the first game of the Rushmore Bowl in the afternoon at O'Hara, and then O'Gorman will host Brandon Valley tomorrow as well. well. We've got other games on DRG Media Group stations tonight. It's homecoming in Fort Pierre, where the Stanley County Buffaloes look to win their second in a row. They will host the Redfield Pheasants, a team they beat handily a year ago. Of course, Stanley County coming off a great win over Leola Frederick area last week on their new turf field. And this is their final regular season home game that they have scheduled. So 5 straight road games after this one. But Justin Cowart is on KGFX with the call of that one this evening. Darren Boyle and Miller tonight with the Rustlers of Millerheim War Herald have homecoming, and they host Chamberlain. That's on 94.5 FM. Mobridge Pollock hosts Aberdeen Roncalli on Star 99 up north. And Harriet Selby area on KMLO FM 100.7. They host the Lemon McIntosh Cowboys this evening. Other Central South Dakota games of note have Jones County playing their I-90 rivalry at Lyman, and Sully Buttes is at Hitchcock-Tulare. Gettysburg hosts Dupree, and an interesting game in the 9-man ranks up north has Faulkton hosting the Warner Monarchs, among other games that are going on. That's a look at the schedules and how things shape up tonight. A quick look at the standings are interesting to say the least. You've got Yankton, Sturgis, and T-Area all 2-0, followed by Brookings, Huron, and Spearfish 1-1. Obviously early in the season. Then you've got Watertown in the 7th spot at 0-2, but a better power average than Pierre and Mitchell with their 1-1 record. So Pierre and Mitchell right now tied for 8th in the 11-team Class 11 AA. Aberdeen Central and Douglas are both 0-2, and they bring up the rear. So there's your look at the state of football in Class 11 AA in South Dakota. Let's take a 3-minute break, and we'll chat with the coaches coming up. Our Central Dakota Eye Care Keys to Success, beginning with Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors as our Bank West pregame show continues. In 3 minutes, this is Pierre Governor Football.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day. Whether you're chasing a personal best or simply want to enjoy life to the fullest, our specialized care is designed to help you feel better and stronger. We're here for you. No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Welcome back to Watertown. I'm trying to get my interviews going here, and I'm hearing it on my phone, but it's not running through our system just yet. So we've got Keys to Success coming up with the coaches, which is brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Let's hear from Central Dakota Eye Care in our chat with Steve Steele coming up, hopefully, next on River 92.7.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye
Keys to
exams
Success with
evaluating
Steve.
vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Success with Steve Steele, the Governor head coach in week 3 off of kind of an upset loss, if not a little bit of a surprise last week, Coach. 13-7 at Huron. I think we just found out that all in all, Huron's they're a much improved team. They've got a good thing going, and unfortunately for Pierre, it was just a matter of finishing drives and things like that last week that didn't quite go your way, unfortunately.
Yeah, 1 for 5 in the red zone is tough to overcome, and you got to credit Huron. They played very well. They did a really good job tightening down inside the red zone. But yeah, having 350 yards, whatever we had, and all that, and then coming up with 7 points is a tough pill to swallow.
So always a learning experience with any loss. But what has been the the mindset for practice this week to ensure that things like that don't come up empty again?
Yeah, the biggest part was just, your job is very important every single play. I think once we got into the red zone, it was kind of when it wasn't one thing, it was another. We had a fumble. We had, a couple of different, alignment or false start penalties. We had a holding penalty. We had a drop pass or a couple of drop passes. Really the only one you could say, going back to film that they beat us on was that last drive.
Yeah.
Where they did, obviously they have everybody back, but they make 2 really good defensive plays to stop our 2 throws to the end zone. Outside of that, a lot of it was just self-inflicted.
Teams really are trying to take Cooper Terwilliger out of your whatever you're trying to do. I think did Huron really stack their defensive secondary more than you expected to?
Yeah, they dropped a lot of guys into coverage, especially in anything that was more of a true passing down. But they always had someone on Cooper on the line, and then they had someone behind. So, man coverage for everybody. They're still jamming them with somebody. Whether it was a D lineman or a linebacker, they're making life tough for him. And bright spot wise, I thought Carter Scheffelbein had a phenomenal game. He was able to use that extra space and really make a lot out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Guy that we saw in week 1 that you'd like to get into open space if possible. Now it's Watertown, and of course the last time you saw them was in the Dome last year. They've lost a lot, especially on that line, but they've, it's hard to tell what they've got because they've had such a tough schedule so far. So tough game coming up here tonight.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of 2 teams both kind of trying to figure out what they've got, and both trying to, more so on the offensive side of the ball, I think, for both squads too. I think they scored 26 on Yankton, with 2 of those being special teams touchdowns. So their offense is struggling a little bit as well. Defensively, they've had some really good plays. They've had some big busts. So, I think it's just 2 teams that really need some confidence right now and need to find a way to finish the job.
So what are you seeing that maybe you can exploit a little bit, at least especially in getting that offense going again?
Yeah, they're similar in the sense that they want to keep things in front of them. And I said they have had a few busts. I think that was a difference. I mean, if you look back at Huron, they do a really good job of being disciplined and keeping things in front. I think Watertown does that for the most part, but Yankton got by him a few times. And then just, that being able to run the ball in the box. I think our run game, we had some great holds, but, we didn't do as much as we should have with our run game. I felt we got kind of as many yards as the O-line got us, and I think we've got to be better running the ball this week.
I thought Ducheneau was running with a purpose last week, and he was looking good until Huron kind of made adjustments to shut that down a little bit.
Yeah, and again, I think the line did a pretty good job at getting us, to the port. You can't block everybody. And our perspective is usually if we can get them to the secondary, whether it's a safety that steps up into the box or a corner on the edge, that becomes the ball carrier's responsibility. Same if it's a receiver or whatnot. And, I think we may have won those earlier in the game, and as the game went on, we didn't win those battles.
All right. Keys to success against these Watertown Arrows then.
Yeah, we've got to make sure that we win the red zone. More importantly than ever, I think we've done a pretty good job. We drove the ball every drive we had it. We punted one time in a game. We scored 7 points, which is crazy. So we've just got to make sure we're finishing drives off the right way, and then defense has just got to do more of the same. They're playing really well right now.
And if they got a couple of special teams touchdowns last week, don't forget about that third phase of the game too, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Well, they can't have 2 punt blocks for a touchdown if we don't punt twice. So we only punted once last week. So hopefully we can stay on that train, but finish them with touchdowns instead of missed conversions.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck to you, and we'll see you after the show, all right?
Okay, thanks.
There he is, the head coach, Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors. Coach's comments and keys to success that are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. We did hear from them already, so let's turn the page and speak with John Hodorf of the reigning state champion Watertown Arrows. All right, we're chatting with Coach John Hodorf of the Watertown Arrows as well as keys to success continue. Coach, I know you're off to a rough start, but so far this season it's probably the toughest schedule that anybody's had to play in the first couple of weeks. What do we have that's going positive in Arrowland so far after 2 weeks of play?
Well, we've had a lot of positives. I know the scoreboard hasn't shown that, but if you go back and watch film of what we've done, we've had a lot of good things happen and then some really bad things, and the really big mistakes have cost us a lot of points. So we have to clean up some special team stuff, some coverage things where we're giving up deep balls, but we can just force teams to actually move the ball down the field and not give up big plays and special teams things and that kind of thing, then we'll be a lot better off.
All right. I guess I would be remiss if I didn't first say congratulations on your state championship from a year ago. I know you lost an awful lot to graduation, so how's the turnover and the turnaround going so far?
We lost a lot of guys to graduation, and we have a bunch of guys who are young and coming up to replace those guys, so we don't have a ton of experience on the field. And I think once we get a little more experience, we'll keep improving throughout the season.
All right, offensively, well, I guess other things as you look ahead to the Pierre Governors once again, what are you seeing from them so far? They've had their struggles, especially on the offensive side so far in their first 2 games.
We know Pierre's a good football team. They return quite a few guys. They have some good players on both sides of the ball. We're anticipating that they'll be much improved from the last 2 weeks, knowing that the first game of the season was kind of a rough weather type game where they were trying to fight through a bunch of mud and that kind of thing. And Aberdeen's a pretty good football team too, and Huron's an improved football team. They're going to be pretty good this year. We know that they won't make the same mistakes they made in those 2 games this week.
Could have a lot of parity in the class this year so far from what we're seeing.
Yeah, it looks that way.
So, keys to success for you against the Governors then?
We have to clean up some things on special teams and not give up kickoff returns for touchdowns and huge punt returns for touchdowns and those kind of things. We also have to be able to establish a run game a little bit better than what we have, and we need to, like I said earlier, just make teams earn things and not give them 80-yard plays all in the same play.
I understand you got some good things special teams wise. Did you give up things to Yankton in particular, or I guess to Sioux Falls Jefferson as well through special teams?
Yeah, we've given up 2 kickoff returns, and I think our net total punt average is probably not more than 15 yards at this point. So we're struggling a little bit in the kicking game.
Yeah, improve that field position then. Obviously a big key there. So, well, Coach, I know you got to get going here. I'll let you go. I appreciate your time. And well, what's it like to play on a field that doesn't have infield dirt?
It's pretty nice having turf and having all the nice facilities that we have available to us. It's been a pretty nice transition.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to the trip. So good luck to you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks. Our national anthem played by the Watertown Pep Band on this September 12th, the day after 9/11, when our national anthem seems to take on a little bit deeper meaning. Obviously, 24 years ago was a rough time in American history, but if we could all get back to how we felt on September 12th, 2011, about each other, that's kind of my dream. I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but God bless America. That's and our thanks to head coach John Hodorf for his comments and keys to success, brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Starting lineups are coming up on the field. Let's get to those as well. They're brought to you by Envirotech in Pierre. We'll start with a home team, the Watertown Arrows here. The Envirotech starters begin with their quarterback. They've got a senior in Marcus Pitkin, good athlete, 170-pounder. Lincoln Scott's a big guy behind him, a junior running back at 200 pounds, a triple wide receiver threat, including the Swenson twins, Cutler Swenson and Kessler Swenson, both listed at 155. Juniors. Kai Paulson is a sophomore wide receiver as well. On the line, they've got Andrew Dahl in the middle, one of the few returning starters on offense. He is the center, 240 and a junior. Luca Lesson on the left guard spot, a senior. Kason Jensen, a junior right guard. Ethan Eichens is a left tackle, senior. Caleb Thronson, the biggest of the offensive linemen, the right tackle at 280 and a senior. And another returning starter is Hunter Peterson, the junior tight end for the Watertown starting offense. Connor Christensen is the starting nose guard. He's a 295-pound sophomore, flanked by Hunter Peterson and Luca Lesson on the defensive ends. Lincoln Scott comes in at one inside linebacker. Cooper Ketwig, a senior inside linebacker as well. Outside backers are Landon Lewis, a junior, Caden Decker, a senior, both in the 180s. Corners are Owen Engelbrecht, a junior, and Gage Robeson, the sophomore cornerback. The Swenson boys, the strong safety Cutler. The free safety is Kessler Swenson. For head coach John Hodorf and the Watertown Arrows, those are your Envirotech starting lineups for the home team. Let's hear from Envirotech, and the Governors starting lineups are coming up. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
Starting lineups from Envirotech for the Governors on offense. It's senior quarterback Caleb Lounsbury leading the way. Kia Duchino, senior halfback, H-back in the backfield. And the Governors also bring that triple wide receiver as threat. Carter Shufflebein off of an 11-catch night in Huron a week ago. He is the junior and the one to watch, along with Lincoln Dilgis, the senior, Jaron Deal, the sophomore wide out for Pierre, and Cooper Terwilliger, the talented tight end, the 240-pound junior. Offensive offensive line for the Governors includes senior Colton Cass, junior Max Schmitz, center Bryson Wallman, the junior, Max Bogenhagen at one guard spot, a senior, and one of the captains on this offensive squad, and Tucker Ott, the senior, on the tackle spot as well. Offense for the Pierre Governors. Defense starts with Lathan Rounds in the middle, the sophomore nose tackle, with Bogenhagen and Schmitz in at defensive tackles. Outside linebackers are Hudson Schaefer and Lincoln Schoenhardt, both seniors. Sam Larson, the junior middle linebacker, with Will Eilers, the sophomore, in the middle as well. And then there's the corners and Logan Whitty and Aiden Beam. Whitty, the junior, Beam, the senior. Porter Hunsley is a sophomore strong safety. Sutton Sonnenschein is the free safety and a junior. That's the starting lineups for the Pierre Governors. And head coach Steve Steele, assisted by coaches Magic, Nye, Heggie, Spore, Slice, Schleck, and Trow. Starting lineup sponsored by Envirotech in Pierre. The other starting lineup is the naming of today's game officials. They're the law on the field, and certainly worthy of our thanks for doing a thankless job. Sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office. The law on the field is coming after this important message from the Consumer Protection Division.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division presents the Guys in Stripes as the law on the field. The Sioux Falls area crew headed by referee Brian Wedham. The umpire is Brian Young. Rusty Keith at the head linesman spot, along with Kevin Deinert, the line judge, and a friendly face in Jay Kuzler, the back judge, doing this game as well. Father of our own Brianna Kaiser, as we seem to know Jay just a little bit there. Brian Wedham, Brian Young, Rusty Keith, Kevin Deinert, and Jay Kuzler. Tonight's game officials, tonight's law on the court. Thanks, guys, for being the law on the field, as it is here in Watertown. High school football's coming up, and the captains for both teams about set to come out and enact the coin toss. We'll take a break momentarily, but keep in mind we invite you to listen for the Rounds Financial Services highlight plays of the night. Sponsored by Rounds Financial Services in Pierre. They're right on the money highlight plays where your money works for you. Osaic Wealth Member SIPC. Our highlight plays from Rounds Financial Services in Pierre. Let's pause for 2 minutes and we're back to kick it off. The Comtech opening kick is next. This is Pierre Governor Football.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. When you're distracted, who's driving?
Welcome to the Allen Mitchell Sports Complex, the all-new stadium for Watertown High School football, Watertown, South Dakota. It's Watertown in purple on purple, gold numbers and trim, and a low line drive kickoff taken on a short hop 2 times by Carter Shufflebine. Had to pick it up at the 10-yard line. He comes up the near side, near hash mark, across the 20, but he is swarmed, and a good job on special teams right off the bat by the Watertown Arrows. Pierre will have average field position as we are underway our Week 3 edition of Friday Night Under the Lights. Pierre Football here, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, drgnews.com. It's Brian Oakland joined by Sean Lewis, and a good chance for the Governors, coach, as the Governors take that opening kickoff. A good chance for them. We'll see how they come out offensively. See if they keep the ball moving as they did with 350 yards of offense in Huron last week. Stepping up out of the pocket, coming short side and gaining some pretty good yardage as Caleb Lounsbury. He'll gain to the 30-yard line and a pickup of 6. A lot of yards last week, not a lot to show for it, unfortunately.
Exactly, and I think efficiency is going to be key this week. And I really think that the Governors are going to come out and they're going to be looking for their big shots early. I mean, you saw Lounsbury was definitely looking downfield, and when the pocket broke down, he decided to go ahead and take off, run, and get it because they were covering pretty deep. But I think it's going to be big shots early here.
Kia Duchino on 2nd and 4. He ran well last week, but it seemed like Huron eventually maybe figured him out. Duchino straight ahead for 3. Some churn and burn yards last week, and he gets just to the line to gain at the 34-yard line. That's good enough for a Pierre first down, and if you can establish the run, if you're the Governors, everybody knows they want to throw the football, but establishing the run is paramount to any success they're going to have tonight.
Yeah, they're hand in hand. It's one and the other. The run sets up the pass sets up the run, and, you know, Steve Steele gave a lot of credit to this offensive line as, you know, our run game last week, we got as far as the line took us. Now it's up to Kia to break that one extra and see if he can take one to the house.
1st and 10. Throw it out that way to Carter Shufflebine. He's got some space, makes a move at the 45 to the 50 into Watertown territory. It takes 2 Arrows in purple to run him down, one of whom is Lincoln Scott, the linebacker spot, and there is what Carter Shufflebine was very successful in doing a week ago. Throw those little wide receiver screens, make him make his own moves, and make people miss, and this is a first down pickup into Arrow territory to the 46.
Yeah, you can't say that's a new wrinkle. That one's on film all over the place. Us just going and throwing it out to Shufflebine and letting him do his thing. And you know where last week he was met and corralled by 2 to 3 guys right away. He was able to shake and bake a few.
Keep it on the ground this time, Douche, you know, as it's just a couple of yards. But again, Pierre already with a couple of moves of the chains and into Arrow territory. Started at their own 23. Now they'll have it 2nd and 8 after a pickup of 2 to the 44 of Watertown.
You're picking up consistent offense here, kind of marching it down the field. I mean, when a team's 0-2, the only thing you want to do is be able to get on them and get on them early and not even let them have a glimmer of hope of, hey, they can get out of this hole that they've dug for themselves. And I think that's kind of the thing is we're going to mount a drive, hit a couple big shots, and just simply run this thing down their throat if we can.
Ball in the middle of the field. Here's a handoff. Duchino, 40 to the 35, down to the 30. And, that was Porter Hunsley. So Porter with a little wrinkle early on and a burst on the ground inside the 35 down to the 31-yard line. That was Sean Lewis telling me that was Hunsley, and I was informed by Coach Steele that Porter Hunsley might be running the football a little bit here, and right away a 13-yard gain. He's got a first down.
And he's just going to provide a little bit different style of running. He's going to run through some people along with his lateral agility. He's just a fantastic athlete. I mean, you don't have kids who play at the AA level as a freshman. I know we just had him on the defensive side of the ball last year, but now as a sophomore, I mean, his role as the continuation of this season and the development of certain players is just going to continue to expand, as he can do a lot more than just cover guys on defense and tackle. He's just an athlete all around.
He knows his stuff, folks. That's Sean Lewis. That's his wrestling coach for Porter Hunsley as well. So this a 3-yard pickup on first down. Now 2nd and 7. The Governors are in business. They're inside the 30 at the 28. As they'll send 3 receivers eligible to the left. They'll pitch it out that way. Hunsley's going to run out into space. He makes a hesitation, then a burst, and tries to turn the corner. He'll gain the 25. He got away from the initial pursuit of Kessler Swenson. Got by him, maybe got a couple more yards. Still about 4 to go for the Governors to pick up a first down here. The ball is resting on the 25-yard line. A long way to go for just a 3-yard gain. But again, a little thunder, a little lightning, as much as the Governors can provide for the time being. They do get Carter Merrill, presumably, back next week.
And I'm not going to say I know everything here, but Porter's also been a very good quarterback for his class for the last couple years as well. And so I don't know if that card is in Steve Steele's playbook at all, but I tell you what, if you were to be able to hand off, you could get a half-pack pass or some other things out of Porter, not just the run game.
Hunsley again wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He tries to spin, but there's 2, 3 Arrow jerseys, make it 4. We're bringing him down this time. Hunter Peterson off the D-line, Caden Decker in the linebacking core. And this is a gain of 0 on the 8th play of this opening drive of the game. Kia Duchino has 2 runs. Porter Hunsley has run 4 plays in a row, but now the Governors are faced with a 4th and 4. And right now at the 25, a field goal, just speculating, would be 42 yards. You're not really expecting that. This is 4-down territory all the way.
I just need a continuation of this drive, even if you just get it down here a little bit further.
Lounsbury, quick fire, and he's looking for Dilgis on the right side, but this pass is picked off. A little possession gained by Braxton Peterson, a junior defensive back who played it well. And again, it was 4th down. Interception isn't necessarily the worst thing that could happen here, but it is still officially a turnover. And the Governors gain a lot of yards on their opening possession once again, but so far they'll come up empty again. And it's Watertown taking over here on their own, let's make it the 18-yard line.
Not the result you were kind of hoping for. Obviously, you wanted to go ahead and get that first down. But if you were going to say, hey, we'll punt and we'll get them down at the 17, we'd have probably taken that field position. And so, got to have that memory just simply go away and see what our defense can offer. As, last week outside of that first drive, they were pretty lights out.
Up to the defense now to just make sure the field position stays advantage. Governors got a whistle and timeout already called by the Arrows and head coach John Hodorf. This is our first Coca-Cola timeout in our broadcast. Timeout sponsored by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Take a break, get a Coke. We're back in 60 seconds. No score. Watertown on offense for the first time when we come back. This is Pierre Governor football.
Graham Tire and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Buying or Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
We focus on customer service, nationwide warranties, and everyday low prices on tires and auto services. We only offer the best brands, including Goodyear, Dunlop, Cooper, and Titan. Visit us today to discuss new tires or other auto services. Graham Tire and Automotive, 421 West Sioux in Pierre. Call us at 224-8643. Schedule service online at grahamtire.com.
We're back in Watertown as the Arrows take over on their own 17-yard line. Their quarterback, who loves to run the football and is pretty good at it, is stacked up after a 2-yard gain on play number 1. 2nd and 8 at the Watertown 19-yard line. That after a Braxton Peterson interception on a 4th down play of Caleb Lounsbury. Now play action, throw it out near side, and a good double leg tackle here for the Governor defensive back, and Logan Whitty. Where'd he learn that?
He's not a wrestler. He's built like a wrestler, I will tell you that. He's definitely a kid that I've looked at body type and been like, you might be doing the wrong thing playing basketball, but I have seen him play basketball, so he's not bad at that. He's pretty athletic, getting the ball up and down the court for that crew. But, if it wouldn't have been mic'd up, I'd have been yelling 3 from the corner, that's for sure. It was an absolute.
He did have 3 points, asking for 3 points up in the air, so it kind of reminded me of Trey Lewis there. Still a 14-yard gain, and Cutler Swenson, I believe it was, who caught that pass, if I remember right now, number 7, as we'll go up the middle here on a first down run for Watertown.
Hey, Cutler's a wrestler. He should have been able to sprawl, get a little bit back out of that. Him and his brother, actually, there's wrestlers laced through this Watertown lineup, and so it's probably why they're pretty decent on defense. Not to mention Pitkin he's a scrappy little guy himself.
Yeah, lots of wrestlers on both teams here, as we love to point them out. Tyson Miller got a run on that first down play this time, picks up 4. It's at the 37-yard line, 3 plays. Watertown doing all right so far. Pitkin rolling out near side. Thought he wanted to throw, but he'll tuck and run. He crosses the 40 up to the 45. He just outran the linebacker Maximus Schmitz of the Governors. And Pitkin going to move the chains once again. And, well, this first drive for the Pierre defense so far resembling, that first defensive effort in Huron a week ago. And Huron marched down and scored 7 points.
I think Pitkin's definitely going to provide you issues if you let him outside of the pocket. He's going to be a guy that you're going to want to contain, keep inside, try to make him run between the big guys, and ultimately get caught up in traffic. As if he gets an opening or a crease to the edge, he could definitely be gone.
They'll leave it with Lincoln Scott, a big tailback here, 200-pounder, crosses the 45. Not much more after that. It looks like they will give him the 47, but that's a 2-yard gain. First carry of the night for Lincoln Scott. And he is a first-year starter in this Arrow backfield as well. Watertown, as mentioned, purple on purple, gold numbers and trim. You've got purple helmets. Governors are in a look you don't see very often. White jerseys with the green numbers, green helmets, but black pants tonight. Last time I think I remember seeing this look was the last time Pierre played in Watertown 2 years ago. Pitkin back, going to dump it off. Out on the flat, it's Scott, and the Governors converge, and this might even be a loss as Scott is out of bounds back near the 45-yard line. There's Porter Hunsley, the last to give chase. In fact, inside the 45 to the 44. That's a loss of 3, and that'll help the Governor cause.
Yeah, you see the Governor defense here is kind of settling in. I've seen good stuff out of the D-line so far. Only big plays really have come kind of on the edges, and so if we can go ahead and set those edges and keep them in here, I don't know if the pass game is really anything that's going to hurt us outside of a few, but got to keep him moving.
So Williger got into the backfield, but Pitkin able to get away from him, rolls out to the right, throws far side line, and the pass unable to be pulled in. And it looks like number 40, Braden Jenk, who was a 160-pound sophomore. Well, he's got a target, and John Hodorf putting a lot of different people in here, so it was a promising start to the drive by the Arrows, but the Governor defense does hold serve, and they will induce a punt here.
Yeah,
I just want to say real quick, punting could be a bit of an adventure, as Watertown hasn't gotten much in distance in most of their punts, but they've also been involved in punt blocks and things like that. This is a pretty good punt, left-footed boot, and here is Shufflebein with it in traffic back from the 20 up to the 25-yard line, and the Governors will take over once again. So the defense does hold serve, and Pierre will come out on their second offensive possession on a 75-yard field.
Yeah, 75-yard field here. Not much for Shufflebein to get out. What I was going to say before we kind of got caught up in the mix of punting was I really didn't like Watertown's pass concept that they had. They had 3 guys pretty much within a 3-yard area of each other, so it was one versus the other tip ball. Not a great drop, or somebody messed up their assignment. So that's why you're punting.
4:13 to play, first quarter, no score. Here's Lounsbury throwing over the middle, looking for Shufflebein, and played well by the defender. This is number 16, Owen Engelbrecht. The route was good. The throw was right there. Maybe, if we're being picky, could have used a little more zip on it, but you got to give credit to the defender this time for getting a hand up in there. I'm just glad to see the Governors throwing the ball downfield. We didn't see that but maybe once or twice all last week.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I thought coming into this week was going to be a stressor is, hey, we're going to give Lounsbury a little bit more time in the pocket. We're going to create some more downfield throws rather than just all the short stuff and just really kind of focus in on, hey, we need to take some big plays and get the electricity and excitement on our side.
Lounsbury alone, this is Jaron Deal in the backfield as the quarterback, but he will tuck and run in a 2 tight end set. Come across the left side over the 25 to the 29, and that is his first carry of the night. Asked Coach Steele if Jaron Deal might be in the mix as well. He did kind of give that indication. So we've seen Porter Hunsley. We've now seen Jaron Deal, the sophomore.
Yeah, I don't think there's any stone that's going to be left unturned when you're trying to search for a win and get yourself back on track. You've basically seen 3 could-be, would-be, should-be quarterbacks all lined up in the backfield at some point in time, and it'll be interesting to see what other wrinkles come off of it.
3rd and 6, big play. Lounsbury will leave it short to Terwilliger. It's up to him to make the plays, physical, and he will make his way across the 35. That's good enough for a first down and 10 at the 36-yard line. I like that idea, and that if you want to get Cooper Terwilliger involved, just give him the ball and see how many tackles he can break along the way.
Yeah, he's virtually triple covered on that, but, you know, when you have the quarterback rolling and you've got just that little hint of him being able to pull it down and run, one of those guys has got to come off Cooper and be able to play the run, and as soon as that guy did take his step up, provided an angle, fed the ball to him, and he fought for an extra 4 to 5.
Lounsbury had the ball tucked. He was disguising it as a run. Did want to throw all the way. Here's Ducheneau back with the ball carrying responsibility and a good surge through the line of scrimmage. We mentioned it last week. I kind of like the way that Kia Ducheneau is attacking the line of scrimmage. He's almost at full speed right as he goes through. Here he surges ahead for 5. The Governors are across the 40 to the 41.
And he follows that line really, really well. And again, the one thing that we need to see from him is he's got to find that cutback, got to break that tackle, get away from that line separation, and just, you know, put the gas pedal down and hit one home.
2 receivers wide left, the ball on the near hash mark. Governors moving left to right. This is north to south, and they appear to be moving into the wind. There's not a stiff breeze tonight, but there is something that's making that flag wave. Half staff, of course, for 9-11. Off to the left side, and it is Lounsbury to Terwilliger again. Tackled right away. I'm not even sure he caught that ball, but he did come up with it. The line of scrimmage is going to be back at the 41, though, so that is an incomplete pass. Again, well defended by the secondary and the linebackers of the Watertown Arrows.
Yeah, Hunter Peterson all over Terwilliger from the hop. Really, from where Hunter Peterson, number 11's lined up, he's a D tackle, so he was shifting out, staying over top of him, following him down the line, and you probably gained 2 yards off of that one, but just by not catching it because we were 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So
now 3rd and 5. Governors looking for another chain mover. It's out to the near side. Pass is caught. Did Schuffelbein. He will motion first down himself, and the Governors, for the second time in as many possessions, will cross the 50-yard line into Watertown territory. Now to the 47. They'll give him 12 on that connection.
We've needed a big play so far, stretching the field. It's going to be with Carter. I bet we'll probably come back to a couple other quick hitters with some screen passes with him, but you're just seeing a good balance. We're running, we're passing, we're running, we're passing, kind of just going back and forth between the two.
Under 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Schuffelbein, or rather Lounsbury, over the middle and just behind Terwilliger this time, but he reaches back, hauls it in with those long arms, and the Governors are getting Cooper Terwilliger involved here. And let's put this one inside the 40 to the 36. That'll be a gain of 11. First down, Governors.
But when you are 6'6", even if that ball is behind you, if you were able to just kind of put your foot, set it, your window of opportunity when you're 6'6" is quite large. So if we wouldn't have had him being there, most people aren't going to probably haul that in, but being it's Cooper, he's got a chance.
No score yet. Under a minute and a half to go. Quarter number 1, second drive of the game, as mentioned for the Governors. There's another drive, or another throw out to the right side, near side, and immediate contact, but a good job hanging on to it here by the sophomore Jaron Deal inside the 25 to the 24. That's 12 more for the Governors. Back-to-back chain movers. And the Govs in business here for the second time.
And that is a great catch, especially when he knows that defender is one step away from laying a lick on him. He ultimately just said, no, catch it, tuck it, hold on to it. I'm not going to get anything. He took the big hit, secured the ball all the way in. I mean, for a sophomore, that's huge. That's some maturity, especially coming from last week where he had that drop ball that hopefully he's forgot about.
Here's Porter Hunsley taking one up the middle, up the near hash mark, and inside the 25, down to the 20. That'll be a gain of 4. And think about Jaron Deal. He had that key drop last week, and we talked about it. He probably will never drop a pass ever again because he's going to make sure he doesn't feel that way. They feel that feeling ever again. Nobody wants to feel that, and I think the focus was a little bit elevated, I think, on the part of Jaron Deal. You got to give him a lot of credit on that last play.
Yeah, knowing him and his work ethic, I'm going to guess he spent some extra time either with his quarterback or a quarterback or on the jugs machine or just, making sure that those kind of things never happen again. And he's a good athlete, and as he continues, this is going to be great.
Timing pattern to the end zone, and Shufflebine had it, or is that Deal out there far side? Yeah, but this time well defended again. And Watertown's defense and their secondary doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, Cutler Swenson's 6'2". I mean, he's long, he's lengthy, he's hard to see over, and he's a good defender.
Looked like Deal did have that one. It was a good throw by Caleb Lounsbury. Little pump fake, double move up on that wheel, up and out. But I think Deal had it, but then Swenson just knocked it away. So now we've got it 3rd and 6 from the 20-yard line. Governors in the red zone. Last play of the first quarter. This is Hunsley on the ground. He breaks tackles inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. The Governors will be in a goal-to-go situation. But that will have to wait until the second quarter as our first quarter time has run out. Second drive of the game for the Govs on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. No score yet. First and goal when the Governors come back. After the 60-second timeout, our scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football, your official voice of the Govs. River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker, owner.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Sean Lewis with Caleb Brozick on camera for Live Ticket. William Wilson in studio. After a 10-yard run on 3rd and 6 for Porter Hunsley, he'll start the mix in the second quarter of play. And a first down and goal to go play gets him about halfway there. Might be stopped at the 6. Another gain of 4, and Porter Hunsley already with 7 carries here in the first quarter and the first play, or in the first quarter and the first play of the second. In fact, I'll give him 5 to the 5.
I know every week Steve Steele's working on his 2-minute drill, but I bet there was an extra focus this week on red zone offense rather than a 7-on-7 or an inside run game. So I'm interested to see what kind of wrinkles, and I think you're seeing one here with Cooper lined up as a fullback.
And now it is Hunsley again going right side. He dives. He's got the 1. Governors knocking on the doorstep now here early second period. You're trying to make a statement here just to, maybe not necessarily to the Arrows, but more so to themselves. Trying to get this offensive rhythm clicking, and they're doing it without the huddle. And again, Cooper Terwilliger, as mentioned, is the fullback. Porter Hunsley has wrapped up this time. Peterson got to him. Hunsley kept churning and burning forward. He dives to the 1. He turns a 2-yard loss back into a no gain, and he does get back to the 1, but just like the Governors saw a week ago, when they scored, it was a 4th and goal from the 1 play.
It's really kind of interesting for me to see Cooper as a fullback. We haven't ran a fullback system in quite a while here in Pierre. We flirted with it, had a couple sets here and there, but I'm a real traditional football guy. I love seeing a fullback guy who's just going to absolutely go forward, knock the crap out of somebody, and see what happens.
Lounsbury under center, little pitch. Hunsley is through this time all the way to the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Governors. Is that... that was got to be Hunsley again,
Porter
right?
Hunsley.
Okay, Porter Hunsley making a appearance here in the Governor offense and shining so far. He puts the Governors on the board first with a 6-0 lead on that 1-yard scamper. Logan Whitty, the place kicker, on to kick the PAT. Kick is up. Kick is good. So there you go. The Governors looking a little more comfortable here on their second drive of the game. 10-13 to play in the second quarter. They lead the Watertown Arrows 7-0. We pause for 30 seconds. Pierre kicks. When we come back, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Left in the first quarter. And here at the 10-13 mark. Job well done by the Governors. That is 6 minutes even. Governors have been putting a lot of sustained drives together. And again, this time they come up with not only 6, but 7 after a Logan Whitty PAT. 7-0 Govs. It'll kick off. Watertown, deep man, breaking tackles at the 25, up through the 30. And this is Gage Robeson on the return, and the Arrows will have it for their second offensive possession. They got a couple of first downs the first time they had it, but ultimately had to punt. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 32. This time, Watertown in the second quarter moving from north to south or from our left to right.
Thank you for your cooperation.
You mentioned Porter Hunsley. We haven't seen a touchdown scored on the ground by a number 14 in at least a little while.
Yeah, there was another kid as a sophomore wearing number 14 that was pretty good back in the day, old McGuire Rasky, Little Red. And Porter's out there giving some homage to that number and getting in early and hopefully often here in his sophomore campaign.
Bubby scored a lot of touchdowns, actually. Pitkin stepped up in the pocket, then rolls out. He's got a man wide open out to the 40-yard line of the Governors. Very patient play, good downfield vision for Marcus Pitkin. And it is number 27, Kai Paulson, the sophomore wide receiver who broke free. And I think he saw Pitkin started to scramble, then started breaking himself downfield rather than coming back to the ball. And as long open, we've got an ineligible man downfield, unfortunately, for the Arrows. So that'll negate a big gain. I think that play ended at, well, the back judge is sitting at the 35-yard line of the Governors if that was the case. And that was about where it ended. That would have been almost a 30-yard play for Watertown. But instead, it's our first penalty of the night. And the offensive lineman, one of them ineligible, got more than a couple of yards upfield, and well, you can't fault them for that when the plays are strung out the way that one was.
You got to see the polar opposites of exactly what you want and don't want with a quarterback who scrambles. You got a nice downfield break on a run, and then
1st and 15. We're going to have a flag here. There was a blindside block by Watertown. A huge hit and a lot of hitting going on in this play. Meanwhile, it took Marcus Pitkin a while to be brought down, not until he was across the 40 to the 45. Good gain. It would be a first down on what was 1st and 15, but that play and that long run was sprung by a block that is going to be flagged for a blindside.
Yeah, sorry, I stopped mid-sentence when I saw that hit coming. So they're very touchy. You have to determine whether or not that guy can see it coming, regardless of the angle of the player or the block. But they're calling it, and that's what they saw.
Arrow fans aren't going to like that. I mean, they love the physicality, and you can't not like the hit. If you're a traditional footballist, you like big hits, but there are rules that need to be abided by as well. Back-to-back penalties and total losses of 20 yards here for Watertown. Now, instead of 1st and 10 at the 32, they've got it 1st and 30 back at their own 19-yard line.
Yeah, what they didn't like is the fact that even though Rowdy got hit like that, he popped right back up and was on the tackle a little bit down, so maybe they didn't think it was that bad, but that's probably just Rowdy being Rowdy, knowing how to take a hit and get back up and keep coming forward.
So essentially that was a 2-yard pickup on the previous play by Marcus Pitkin, 15-yard penalty. That's why the math didn't make sense to me at first, but a little short gain has the Arrows up to the 22-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3.
And you are seeing Watertown's offensive line. We thought, okay, they graduated a lot, but they still do have a lot of big guys up there that are able to move some bodies. And so, they're hitting their run game, running with their quarterback, and now spreading it to the outside.
Pitkin, quick hitter out to Cutler Swenson. He starts coming back against the grain and then turns up the field against or inside the far hash mark. Makes his way to the 25-yard line. Modest gain, but I think in this case, Watertown's just trying to get whatever yardage they can before an ultimate punt after those 2 penalties sent them back quite a ways from the original starting point of the 32-yard line. They ultimately lose 7 yards with those penalties and the plays that they ran.
Yeah, just disheartening on penalties. I mean, they're kind of the untimely ones that we talked about that ultimately killed Huron in the Yankton game when you get down to the 35 and you get called back for an illegal lineman downfield, and then you get a big old run and you have a blindside block on that, bringing it back.
It is just 3rd down, though. 3rd and let's call it 17. Pitkin rolling right, has a man over the middle, and now Porter Hunsley lays a stick on Hunter Peterson, and Watertown fans might want a big hit here. But you know what Porter Hunsley did? He leaned in, but he didn't, he didn't target. He didn't, what was the technique there? He just kind of
he
put up his own brick wall.
He turned and bodied him a little bit rather than laying the hit. And he could have definitely laid an absolute hit on him, but instead kind of let him catch it, turn body, more or less attack the ball and roll from there.
So a good job there for the Governor defense. As now it'll be 4th down and a bunch. Second punt coming here. Punter wears number 84. This is not the same punter they had last week in Yankton. We'll give you his name momentarily. It's a short punt high up in the air for Gavin Robeson. And he is a sophomore backup tight end, left footer. Punting has been a problem for the Arrows. I talked to some of our colleagues in Watertown media, and obviously Watertown has made some plays. One thing they've done very well so far in their first 2 games is block punts, but the act of punting itself has not gone near as well. 7:42, Governors lead here in the second quarter, 7-0, and they've got it starting at their own 47-yard line. Lounsbury starting over the middle, crossing route to Terwilliger. Nice catch. As he's coming down, the ball is out, but he is ruled down, and he'll gain inside the Watertown 35-yard line. First down pickup here for the Governors from their own 37 to the Watertown. What did we say? 33 is where they're going to mark it. So that's a 20-yard pickup.
And definitely looking for a quick hitter right away, trying to flip the field position. I mean, kind of that short punt, flag-plagued drive for the most part. And then Governors trying to get one, and I think we had 3 routes that all went deep on that one.
Lounsbury in the pistol near hash mark. Govs are moving right to left. They're right out in front of us here. And moving from south to north. Sideline pass. There's Shufflebine out there. Makes a move. 30 to the 25. First down and more inside the 20. And he got horse-collared, I think, if I saw that right.
For sure.
And another flag will come in. Watertown trying to do whatever they can to get these Governor runners down.
I think he's trying to go ahead and swipe at a jersey and caught a handful of face mask, instead bringing him down, or at least turning him completely around before he was able to get him to the ground.
So Schuffelbein, who had 11 catches against Huron last week.
Half the distance to the goal.
Brian Wedham
First down.
adding on the penalty, which had the play ending all the way to the 13-yard line. Another 20-yard gain. And then half the distance to the goal from there. The Govs are going to have it at about the 6-yard line here.
Jaron Deal here lined up at quarterback, and Lounsbury spread out as a receiver.
New looks, Deal going to keep it himself. Starts left side, cuts back up the middle, just inside the far hash mark, inside the 5. Tripped up at about the 3-yard line. We'll give him 3. Governors at 2nd and goal.
Nice run, pulled that down right away. No question as to what he was doing, just trying to find a crease and a hole and getting through there. Now it looks like they're going to switch back positions, and we're going to see another fullback look. I'm a happy man.
T. Royliger back in there again. Governors scored on 4th and goal with Porter Hunsley on their last possession early in the second quarter. They've got Hunsley, the deep man in the eye here. Hand it off, follow Terwilliger. He'll cut back against the grain. He reaches for the goal line and just a little bit short.
Yeah.
He was close, but
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty darn good from here with an outstretched arm. And
it just depends on when that knee came down. They'll spot it right at the 1. I actually watched that one through the binoculars. I think it was at least inside the 1, but whatever the case, Governors now 3rd and goal. 5:45, we're counting down second quarter. The Governors looking to take a 2-possession lead. Lounsbury under center. Hunsley's alone in the backfield, a little more of a fullback give, straight give, and this time he's through again, so the interior line of the Governors does it for the second time, and Pierre ups the lead to 13-0.
It's a great series, going and attacking downfield, coming back down, giving a different quarterback look, going with your fullback look, and then just a quick hitter right there to Porter Hunsley, and number 14 in again.
So touchdown Governors, Porter Hunsley 2 for 2 now. Logan Whitty trying to make it 2 for 2 in the PAT department, and he does with 5:32 to go in the first half. New score, 14-0. Governors with their largest lead in the first 2.5 games of the season so far, and they kick off when we come back after this 30-second step aside. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
First Dakota has been named South Dakota.
Olson Plumbing in Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Nonstop
Welcome back
flights.
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Opening drive, but the last 2 possessions, 75 yards and 14 plays, 6 minutes, a Porter Hunsley 1-yard dive, and then after a short punt, 53 yards in just 5 plays, helped out by a penalty or 2 as well, and another Porter Hunsley 1-yard dive. Logan Whitty 2 for 2 on PATs, 14-0. Welcome back to this gorgeous new field in Watertown. As the Arrows return the Governor kick.
17 yards.
And they will have it out to the far side, across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Watertown, we've seen a couple of plays from them, but nothing real consistent so far. I think they'd love to come out here and try to find whatever identity they're going to put forth here this evening against these Govs.
Yeah, and they've had some good spurts, but again, it's been the penalties, very untimely. Every time it seems like they get something big, there's something bad laying on the field waiting for them with a negative result. And so if they can clean some things up, they've definitely done some things offensively that could provide some issues.
Pitkin, the quarterback, starts back and then rolls out to the right, throws near side up across the 45, but diving is Cutler Swenson. He just can't bring it in. Ball hits the ground. Great effort. Aiden Beam was out there. He had a great game last week with a couple of second-half interceptions. Sutton Sonnenschein playing safety at center field at safety spot as well. Pitkin, though, so far 3 for 6, just 18 yards.
Yeah, and where he hasn't been necessarily very accurate is his downfield throwing, especially when he's moving. You know, he is a very, very good athlete. He's probably just not a great quarterback to be able to get his feet set and get those downfield throws. Like I said, more of an athlete, probably less of an actual true quarterback in a AAA or a AA system.
Throwing on the run again, and Hunter Peterson loses the football when he is hit. And the Governors are going to recover a fumble here at the Watertown 35-yard line. Will Eilers jars it loose. Hunter Peterson, the talented tight end, strong guy, but Eilers a little bit better of a play here. 7-yard gain, doesn't matter. That's a takeaway for the Governors. First turnover for Watertown, and they've got a short field. Do the Govs.
Just
already
fantastic.
leading 14-0.
Yeah, fantastic play on his arms. He let the guy catch the ball, goes ahead, just grabs him by the elbows, pins the elbows in, and as he's pulling him down, just kind of comes down the arms and pulls the arms down to his side, which ultimately releases the ball, puts the ball on the ground, and his teammates pick it up. Great job, Will Eilers.
Back to the pistol. The Governors will try to add to a 2-score lead, and he wants it all. Lounsbury looking for Deal. He's got it. That shuffle bind touchdown. There's the Pierre Governors of old. You take the ball away, you go for the downs, and it works. This time, Lounsbury drops it, a dime to Carter Shufflebind. Single coverage out there. Shufflebind always going to have the step. Just a beautiful play all around. The Governors lead 20-0.
And we said it at the beginning of the game that we thought they were going to start to take some shots and open that up. You've seen it a bunch of different times, and man, that was a beautiful one. Just the stuff we didn't see last week. We saw tons of short stuff and not anything, you know, consistently downfield. So it's just nice to see that they're getting after that game plan early and often.
Whitty with the kick, he got it through, but before the snap, there is a pre-snap movement penalty against the Governors, and they're going to get 5 yards to the negative. This is Pierre's first penalty of the night.
Replay the try.
You know, it just looked like Jaron Deal out there. Of course, it's a long ways away. I should really
hard.
I know, these skinny numbers, but sometimes you just have to. The way this season has already gone and what Carter Shufflebind is already putting together, you have to assume, I guess, in my case, it's going to be Shufflebind. Say his name first and then change if necessary.
I don't know. You're seeing targets out of them both. I think it's a fair trade to say it could be either of them, especially with the way that they're kind of establishing themselves on the outside. They're both speedsters who can get some separation and ultimately just go up and get the ball.
PAT is good from an extra 5 yards back. The Governors lead 21-0. They've scored them all here in this second quarter. Just under 5 minutes to play. We step aside for 30 seconds. Another Pierre kick coming back. When we come back, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Pierre in Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers.
Welcome back to the Hawaii
turnover after a takeaway to throw the ball long and get these one-play splash plays, big scoring plays, and that's exactly what we saw on that last play, the 35-yard touchdown off of the fumble takeaway for the Governors. It was Lounsbury to Shufflebind. 21-0, a one-play drive that took all of 9 seconds off our second quarter clock. Nice little return. Patient run up the far side by the Watertown return man. And the Arrows are going to start 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line, their best starting field position in 4 possessions thus far, but down 21-0. And again, Watertown has been, they've faced some big deficits so far this season, especially when you're playing one of the top teams in 11 AAA a couple of weeks ago to start the season in Sioux Falls Jefferson. Put it on the ground here in a hard charging effort. This time, Lincoln Scott is the starter. It didn't look like a 200-pounder, but as it turns out, that was Lincoln Scott. And a good 8-yard surge here. He'll make his way. Let's give him 7 across the 40 to the 45. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
And what I'm thinking is Watertown coaching staff here in the box next to us must have heard the fact that I said that I really love a fullback. And now you're seeing they're throwing in a fullback. They've got a tight end. They're really running a pro-style kind of offset eye offense. And there's your big chunky yards. So I need to be quiet with my advice here.
And Pitkin under center. It's Scott to the far side with running room. He's not met until he's got the first down and crosses into Pierre territory. And Scott to, let's give him the 48 to pick up of about 7. And Watertown going to try to establish, again, a little bit of that identity. Certainly not going to pick up 3 touchdowns of difference all in one possession. So you just have to stick to, stay the course, stick to the game plan, and maybe churning some yards on the ground is exactly what the doctor ordered here for the Arrows. Still with 3:45, plenty of time left in the second quarter. Far hash mark this time. Watertown with single receivers either way. They're going with Scott again. Nice bounce off after a good stiff arm behind the line of scrimmage. 40 to the 35. Out to the far sideline. And Lincoln Scott will be helped up by Lincoln Schoenhardt. 14 he's given this time, and now Scott breathing some life into this Watertown offense.
Yeah, not what you want to see, Beans. We had a governor really contact him at the 45 and just not be able to corral him and pull him down or get anybody else there. Ultimately wrangle himself for another 13 yards after contact, which is good for the Watertown Arrows, just not what we want to see in green.
But Scott checking out after that play, and Tyson Miller, who's had a couple of carries so far, is in. Pitkin staying under center. Wideouts both sides. Paulson to the near side, the wide side of the field. Play action, rolling out Pitkin. He's retreating in the wrong direction. Now cuts up the field. He pitches it up ahead inside the 35-yard line. And Tyson Miller out of the backfield there to make the catch. I'm sure he got a foot down, and he will have it to the 31-yard line. All of that said, it still is only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, a lot of motion, a lot of running by a lot of people for a simple 1-yard gain. Good blitz pickup ultimately by their running back before he went ahead and got out on that route. But if he either didn't pick up that blitzer, probably a quarterback sack, and then ultimately that's what also him picking up that blitz stopped him from getting any depth sort of in his route.
Pitkin retreated about 15 yards. Now a quick throw near side. It is taking his receiver to the floor to take it off his shoe tops, but Cutler Swenson has it. And a modest gain, still inside the 25, call it the 24. That's for 7. 7 yards for number 7. Cutler Swenson's third catch of the night.
Hard to see from here if he caught that corral that he was on his knees when he caught it, and we don't really have a great viewpoint of it, so don't know if it hit the turf, but they gave it to him. Must have had a better view from down there than we did.
3rd and 2 it is. As Watertown down to the 24. I think this is their deepest penetration so far. They did, they've been in Pierre territory just once at the 44-yard line. Now the Governors are getting jumpy. Cooper Terwilliger, who is on the D-line, and that was told to me by Coach Steve Steele that he might see some play on D. I think he was the one that jumped. Here the Governors are going to be called for encroachment in their second 5-yard penalty, but this one is enough to give Watertown a first down and more. To the 19, to the red zone. And Watertown trying to answer for the first time tonight. Governors lead 21-Rock.
Yeah, you try as hard as you can to get guys to play one way, but I mean, when you have a kid who's got SEC and Big Ten and any other Power 5 conference offers, he's probably going to have to play both sides of the ball at some point in time. Not all the time, not something you want to do, but you're already seeing both sides with Porter Hunsley. You're seeing it now with him, and I think we've seen Shufflebind be able to jump out there and play corner as well.
Governors are going to take a timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 19 for Watertown. Just under 2 minutes to play, 1:54 to be exact. Pierre leads 21-0. Watertown trying to get on the board here before halftime. We're back in 30 seconds after this Coca-Cola break in the action. This is Pierre Governor football.
With top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore.
Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Glare looking out the windows, but hey, we want to see our stat lines and stat sheets too, because that's where the real story is told, right? Here we are, back out of the Governor's first charge timeout of the first half. Marcus Pitkin under center on first down from the 19. Play action, throws out left side, 2 receivers out there, and it looks like we've got a catch, and it's number 40, Braden Jenk. Inside the 10-yard line all the way down to the 5. That was a floater. It's a 14-yard pickup, but a big play nonetheless for Watertown.
A jump ball, and 40 comes down with an absolute great play by him to be able to get up there, high point the ball, and beat a couple Governors that were also fighting for the exact same ball.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't really want 2 receivers in the same area generally, but the jump ball between 2 Watertowners and 2 Pierre players, and one Watertown guy comes down with it. Here is Lincoln Scott bouncing it out straight up the middle, but a bounce out to the right side, near side. He outruns Aiden Beam and company to the end zone. Touchdown, Watertown Arrows, as they are on the board for the first time. It's 21-6, and a good time for it, too, for Watertown, as they've got 1:15 to play. Of course, that still gives the Govs some time to make some things happen, but we'll see what happens after the PAT. First, the attempt will come from Landon Lewis, the linebacker by trade, a kicker on the side. And,
no relation.
And the PAT is up and through and true.
He is a very good kid. He is a wrestler. There is no relation, so there's no family ties here to Watertown, just to let all back in Governor Nation know.
21-7 it is. Updating the score, Governors will receive the kick when we come back as Watertown strikes for the first time. Governor football coming up. Once again, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football, River 92.7, drgnews.com.
Experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Estate planning, real estate law, and personal injury. They're able to help you plan and prepare to make matters easy now and into the future. Call 224-8803. May Adam Law Firm in Pierre since 1881.
Watertown will kick off after a 7-play, 62-yard scoring drive. Shufflebine will take it for the Governors back to the 10-yard line. Nice run coming back. We've got flags thrown from behind the play, however. Might have got a little help coming up the far seam. Up across the 35 to around the 40. We will check the markers, and that's usually bad news for the return team. Governors were pretty clean through much of this first half. Have a couple of penalties to hinder the cause, however.
On the return team, number 27.
I did not see the hold or the whatever that they are calling. I, however, thought I saw a pretty big hold on the touchdown that Watertown had, but that's neither here nor there at the moment.
Nope,
they scored. Late. It's on the board. It's too late.
There's holding on every play.
I'm
know that,
still
Coach,
salty
right?
on it. I do know that.
Well, this will be fun. The Governors have 1 minute and 8 seconds to go now from the 15-yard line. After that 10-yard penalty, quick throw out. Nice throw. There's Lounsbury, and right to the line to gain is Carter Shufflebine up to the 25-yard line. Some zip on that throw, Coach.
Yeah, definitely coming back, trying to make a point here. Like I said, still, I like to see zeros on the board, not for our score, but for others. So, Coach Magic or that staff has to buy donuts or pizza or breakfast, or I don't even know if they still do that tradition, but that was one that I set up a long time ago, and kind of got for popping. Anytime you threw an offer up there, you had to pay him for it. So
Lounsbury steps back. He'll tuck and run. He's got Watertown players in pursuit. He'll cross the 30. Pierre still has 2 timeouts. They're not using one just yet. Don't give him the 33. Lounsbury does pick up about 7 to the 32.
No, I bet we're going to take a big shot here because we've got our timeouts, and ultimately, trying not to use all the time that we have, but be able to advance this down the field and definitely not be able to give Watertown any time left if they were to get the ball back.
Terwilliger this time will cross the 50.
And
Cooper Terwilliger catches his 4th catch. Great route, and exactly to the Watertown 49 here. And let's see. Got my line markers off kilter, but another quick pass here to Shufflebine, and the Governors will take a timeout with 29 seconds left. Govs have already gotten to the 40-yard line in 5 plays. We'll step aside for 30 seconds here. Another Coca-Cola timeout. It's 21-7, but the Govs want more before halftime. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
He runs the 2-minute drill better than the Pierre Governors, and they got to run it at the end of the ball game in Huron last week, even though they didn't get what they wanted in the ultimate grand scheme of things. But still, good practice there, and so far, they have scored on their last 3 offensive possessions. They got one timeout left. That last play, a 9-yard hookup with Jaron Deal, and it's 2nd and 1 at the Watertown 40-yard line. And Lounsbury ready to throw quickly. Wide open Lincoln Dilgis over the middle of the field. Good tackle by Pitkin. He's got the double leg technique down. Inside the 30 to the 26. That's 14 for Lincoln Dilgis. His first catch of the night. And the Governors will get up there and spike it. And it'll be 2nd down, but more importantly, stopping the clock. And again, in high school, of course, the clock stops to move the chains. So the Governors did not lose a lot of time getting up and being ready to spike the football after a 14-yard hookup.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, 2-minute drill practiced every single week almost, if not every single day in practice. Now it seems like we've done a red zone drill. Now we're working on our 2-minute drill, and you've seen us kind of execute this thing pretty flawlessly, getting out of bounds, saving timeouts, hustling down the line, knowing when the chain's moving, then getting up there and spiking it and saving another timeout.
2nd and 10, Lounsbury looking right. He'll tuck, and he's in trouble. He'll go down. A sack of the quarterback by Watertown. And it's Hunter Peterson coming away from the pile last. A loss of a couple. And Pierre will have to take their final timeout here with 12 seconds to play. And if nothing else, try to get into field goal range, see if they can get one more score on the board. That's a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 12 after another quick 30-second Coca-Cola timeout. 21-7 Governors. This is Pierre Governor Football.
It's more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Coach Sean Lewis, we mentioned the ability of the Governors to run these 2-minute drills, but a lot of times they do it without having to spend all their timeouts. It gets a little more interesting when you don't have any timeouts left. 12 seconds to go and 28 yards left with which to gain. 3 receivers left. It's over the middle. Terwilliger, he's got it inside the 10. Can the Governors get down here and spike it? There's 5 seconds left. Of course, the clock stops with a first down pickup. The Governors pick up 20.
They can't restart. They restarted the clock. Nope, that can't happen. That cannot happen. That clock started to run before that ball was ever placed and set. That is on the timer up here in the booth. That cannot happen. Keep these purple jerseys on the field, because Steve Steele is on the field complaining about the exact same thing that I am here in the booth.
And look at Caleb Lownser. He's waving all these arrows back as well. You know, somebody asked me about that last week as well.
Yeah, until the ref blows the whistle for the ball being spotted, the clock cannot run. Even though they don't have to move the chains, that ball still has to be spotted by the referee. And as you saw, he picked it up and was moving it. So that ball ended at 5 seconds left on the clock. He picked it up, moved it, never set it down until there was 1 second left on the clock. So we ultimately should have a down with about 5 seconds left on the clock.
And they're putting those 5 seconds back on the game clock. Half of the Watertown roster has already made it into the field house for the locker room. And Pierre will be able to spike it, but I think Watertown's getting a timeout, even though they're signaling in Pierre direction, but it is a Watertown timeout. The Govs are out of timeouts, so I wonder if they'll put 5 seconds back on the clock. Right now it's at 3. Doesn't matter as far as that goes, so we will have 5 seconds left. We'll keep it here because we've got to kind of catch up on a couple of things. First of all, great pass and a great receive by Cooper Terwilliger, 20 yards down to the 8-yard line. Sean Lewis explained what went wrong and what should have gone right and what ultimately did go right a moment ago. So the Govs were able to spike or to run a play, or they were about to, but before that happens, Watertown calls their second timeout of the first half. John Hodorf is vehemently discussing something with one of the officials as well.
And I bet he's probably not happy. There should probably be about 3 seconds left by the time the guy spotted it. We snapped it, but ultimately, I mean, if he wants to cuss somebody out, he should probably look to the guy running his scoreboard up here. He's the one who got jumpy and antsy on the whole deal and started running the clock before he was signaled to down on the field.
So Pierre got the spike of the football, and now Logan Whitty is out with time to run a play, and that'll be a field goal attempt of 25 yards. He's on the far hash mark. Out of the hold of Lounsbury, snap, spot, holder, good. Whitty kicking right to left, but he missed it. He hooked it, I think, to the left, and after all that, we still have 2 seconds left on the clock. And Watertown will probably come out after a touchback and kneel on it. So, a very eventful last minute and 5 seconds here. The Governors went from their own 15-yard line all the way to the Watertown 8, but they missed the field goal, and our score remains Pierre 21 and Watertown 7. We do have the halftime show coming up. Halftime from Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial. Find them in the Capitol Creek Center Plaza on East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. We've got 2 seconds to tick away here, though. Watertown will get the football to start the second half. I think they've got to like how this first half came to an end. They score for the first time. They hold the Governors. And our halftime score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard will be 21-7. Governors looking a little more like what Governor fans thought coming into the season. And we'll talk all about it when we come back for that halftime break. 3-minute timeout. Wealth Partners Ameriprise halftime intermission coming up as you listen to Pierre Governor Football and your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Hey, Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.